Dennis Cappel here of Dennis Cappel Horsemanship, and I'm here with a horse called One Brilliant Desire. He's a 5-year-old stallion, and he's in a strange place here. And you know, when I was in college, the gentleman that taught me to actually shoe a horse told me, he said, now when you're getting ready to shoe a horse, he said, don't let anybody catch that horse for you. If the horse knows that you know how to put a halter on, 90% of your trouble's over. And I thought, well, who in the heck don't know how to put a halter on? But it wasn't the actual physical act of putting a halter on, it was what went on that led up to it that he was actually talking about. I personally like to use these rope type halters, and it really doesn't matter to me once the horse is broke what kind of halter you have on them, but I work mainly with young horses, and these rope halters work better for me. So when I am getting ready to catch a horse, I'm gonna position that halter so I've got the portion of the halter that I'm gonna tie off to in my left hand, and the nose portion that the horse's nose goes into is hanging down here, and what goes over the top of the horse is going. So I've got the halter right here ready. And why is that important? You know, you'll come to know this about me. I always try to tell why I'm doing what I'm doing first. Have you ever finally gotten to your horse and you're almost ready to catch him, and while you're figuring out how to get your halter ready and the horse leaves? That's why I want to have my halter ready when I get to the horse so that it's ready to put on. Now, the lead rope, I'm gonna also have that coiled up here in this hand. I might leave a little bit in my right hand here in case I need to have some motivation. But you see that horse is down there right now. He's just doing what horses do. He's just sniffing the ground and looking around. He's not paying any attention to me at all. And so, in their world, who moves whose feet is in control. So, if I go down there to him, he'd probably let me catch him, but he calls me to walk from here to there to get him. I move my feet. So as soon as I would put the halter on him in that respect, he's going to be in charge of me. So right now he's just walking around, he's not paying any attention to me at all. So the first thing I've got to do is get his attention. And I'm going to do this just by bringing the energy up. And you see, that was enough for this particular horse to bring his attention to me. Your horse might take more. They're all different, and they're all at different levels of understanding. Of course, this horse understands that paying attention to me might be the best deal. He still might have to go off the other way, and he did. So I will add this little tidbit. I never try to catch a horse where I can't catch them. In other words, if I'm in the middle of 50 acres and I go out with a halter to catch that horse, I'm probably not going to be able to catch that horse if he doesn't want me to catch him. So I need to be in a small enough area that if the horse chooses to not want me to catch him, I can make that more difficult than being caught. The right thing easy, and the right thing here is being caught. The wrong thing is ignoring. So he's ignoring me completely right there. Did just enough to get him back again. And when he started towards me right here, I'm just going to stand here and back up just a little bit. And he should come right on up here and present himself. Now, he did something very significant right there. When he came up, he stopped at a respectful distance. You see, if he would have just been coming up looking for a treat, looking for a handout, that's an entirely different approach. There's nothing wrong with using a feed bucket, but know this, that when you've got a horse looking for a handout, he's not coming up out of respect. This horse came up, I got his attention. I have done enough previously, before today, by moving this horse around. When he didn't want to come to me, I'd move him around, and I made it real easy for him to come to me. And so coming to me and stopping 6 feet away, good social distance, you know, stopping that far away showed that this horse was coming up with a very respectful attitude. Now, I think when you're teaching your horse to be caught, once you get him to come in and do like this, it would be a mistake to put the halter on the first time. This is what you want him to do. So are we gonna betray his obedience? Are we gonna betray his eagerness to come up here and show us respect by trapping him with a halter and then putting him to work? If you've got time and you can do this maybe every day for a week, where you get him to give you his attention and come to you, and when he comes to you, you call it a day. Don't you think that horse is going to be a little eager next time you come out and say, oh, here, I can get out of work by coming to this guy. You see, it might be a little more of an incentive, a little more motive. But let's say that we do want to catch him today. So the first thing I'm going to do is put my hand here underneath his neck with the halter. And then I'm going to reach over his neck, okay, and grab the end of the lead rope or end of the halter and come up over. Most horses, when you get to this position right here, they don't try to get away from me anymore. Then I'm going to just allow him to put his nose in there and then bring it over and fasten it. If your horse is sticking his nose off over here when you're trying to put a halter on, he's telling you something. He's telling you that he really wants to be in charge, and he really is in charge. So when I've got this part of the lead rope over the horse's neck, I might, if I need him to look back around at me, I might position my thumb right over here on top of his jaw, and I can push just a little bit and he'll bring his head towards me like that. When he kind of cuddles up to me like that, then he's real agreeable and easy to put that halter on. Now, with these rope halters, once I get it over the neck, I'll place it on the nose where I want it to be. Then I'll stick it through that eye. Now this is a mystery right here to most people, it seems like. But the proper way to tie these rope halters is to go around that eye and back through like that. And why is that important? Because this knot here, if the horse does get tied on the lead rope, tied on the halter, you can get that undone. If that rope is tied above that eye like this, which that's the most common way you see these halters tied on, if that gets tight, you can't get it undone. So, and it doesn't lay very pretty that way either. So you go through the eye, around the eye, and back down. Okay? Okay, so I'm about to get this horse's attention and bring him back over, and without a halter on, do the thing that I was doing with the halter on a while ago, but I call this dance the dance, and this is just kind of a byproduct of getting the horse's respect. So first got to get him here with me. So I increase that energy just a little bit and let him back up, and when he comes in here and stops, we'll start this quote dance. Okay? Now I'm going to send him forward around me. I'm going to move his hind end away. Just have him do a turn on the forehand. I'm going to have him bring his front end between me and his hip. Have him move his front end around this way. I'm going to have him stop. I'm going to have him move his hind end away. I'm I'm going to change over and bring his front end around, send him around this way. I'm going to have him move away from me sideways. He left me there for a second, but he came back. So I'll set this up again. A lot of temptations here to leave. It's all right. Now send that away. Bring that front end back through. Heard something outside, so he kind of left me here. Now he's back. Now I'm going to stop. Move his hind end. Just change him around. Change eyes here. And from his right eye, now I'm in his left eye. Now I'm going to stop. I'm going to have him come to me. Now I'm going to have him go away from me. I'm going to stop and have him come to me. Dragging that hind end a little bit. So let's have him bring his hind end to me all the way around. Just bring him laterally towards me. Just go away from me. Just come up here. Find a position to stop. Okay. You might not ever want to do that with your horse, but it's kind of fun. It's just a byproduct of having that conversation with them with the halter on. So I might add this, that when it comes to liberty work, it looks neat, it's fun to do, it helps your relationship with your horse. Is it practical? Probably not. I mean, if you go somewhere, you're going to have your saddle on, you're going to have your bridle on, and you're going to ride in and do things with them. There's no resistance whatsoever. It's just at liberty work, it is simply the horse going to where it's easy. The horse is just going to go to where it's easy. When you have equipment on and all of a sudden you've added resistance. So to me, liberty work is kind of like learning to drive in a parking lot. And you can park your car between cones real nicely. You can drive out around cones, and boy, this is fun. Now, the first time you get out in rush hour traffic, you've got resistance. You're still turning the steering wheel, you're still using the brakes, you're still using the gas, you're doing everything you were doing there in the parking lot, but now you've got resistance. Now you've got all sorts of elements coming at you that you didn't have before. So that's what we're going to talk about here in a little bit when I get some equipment, is how to get a horse to be in agreement with us when there's resistance. When the real world is shining right bright in their eyes, how do we still get a horse listening to us and looking like they're comfortable doing what they're doing? So anyway, so that's my take on liberty work.